Hello guys, Brad Medis of Eastern Long Island Sound Fishing, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is about how to add the right amount of backing so your spool would be at full capacity. Uh, the usual method is you would add the backing first before you spool the main line, and when you do it that way, it's always a guesswork. And in my experience, it's either I put too much backing or too little backing. So this technique would pretty much remove the guesswork. So I'll be using this reel here. This is a Shimano Calcutta 200 GTB. Okay, the handle is upgraded using the counterbalance handle from a Shimano Calcutta 400B. And the main line here is a Power Pro Super Slick V2. I just can't remember if this is a 15 pound or a 20 pound rating, but it's either one of those two. And so the first thing you're gonna do is, instead of spooling a backing first, you're going to spool the main line first, just like what I did. And if I don't know if you can see it, but if you can see it, maybe on the other side, if you can see it, the spool is not at capacity. Okay, you have some, I still have some more. I can pretty much add some more line there. So what you're gonna do is, after adding the line, or your main line, now you're going to tie your main line to your backing line. And what I'm gonna use here is my excess braid line. So usually what's used for backing is a monofilament, but I don't really use monofilament, so what I use is my excess braid line. So, and also this technique, you can also use this when, let's say, you got snagged and you lost some line and you want to add line, so your spool again is at full capacity. And you can also use this technique to flip the line. So when I say flip the line, so let's say the surface line, surface braid is already worn out, or it has abrasion. What you want to do is you want to flip it, meaning the surface line will now be underneath and the fresh line will be on the surface of the spool. So that we'll get to later in the video. So first, I'm going to tie the main line to the backing line, and what I use is a uni knot to uni knot connection. So I'm gonna make a uni knot, and what I do is I make 5 wraps. Okay, 1, so wrap it 5 times, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course there are better videos in YouTube on how to tie a uni knot to uni knot. Okay, so next, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, there you go. And of course you want to always wet your lines so you're not gonna have any abrasion. Cut the tag end. Just make sure you leave some tag. You don't want to cut too close because the knot may come undone. Alright, so that's your uni knot to uni knot. So what I'm using here is a Berkley spooling station. Now, although this Berkley spooling station has a spool holder, I really don't use it. So pretty much this is just a real holder for me. The problem with the built-in spool holder is it doesn't put any or very little tension on the spool, and when you are spooling your line, it has to be, you have to put a lot of tension on it to prevent line bite. Alright, let's go. Let's add some backing. Okay, so now we've added the backing. I think I was able to add another, I think about 30 meters. Okay, there you go. Let me see if you can see now. If you can see now, my spool is at full capacity. Now it's time for us to flip the line, so this backing here on the surface will have to be underneath. Okay, so now we have what we're gonna do is we have to strip the line. We're gonna strip the line using this Berkley line stripper. Okay, and yeah, attached to a power drill. Just move the camera a little bit. Okay. Alright, almost done here. Okay, now we've completely stripped the line from the reel. There you go. So that's it right there. Now next, this line here, we have two. I'm going to spool it to this empty plastic spool. My spare. Okay, this is my spare spool here. So now, by the way, this contraption here is included with this Berkley spooling station. So this is actually what you use to spool a spinning reel. Okay. I'm just gonna put it on I'm gonna put the line stripper on the floor. And by the way, this spooler has an attachment here, so you can see this is an attachment. You can attach it to a drill, and you can use a drill to spin this spooler. But I decided to just do it manually. Okay, I'm gonna use this rug to put tension on the line and also to guide the line in the spool. Right, there you go. So the reason I'm doing this is so when I spool the line back on the reel, the first line to be spooled will be the backing. I'll just show that later. Alright, we're almost done here. Okay, there you go. Let me just show you. Now, as you can see, what's on top now of this spool is the backing. So when I spool it back onto the reel, the backing now will be underneath the spool. Okay. All right. That. Okay, so with this spool holder, so the manner you put tension on the spool or the line is by squeezing the springs on each side of the spool. Alright, and I squeeze it as much as I can. There you go, before locking it in place. Okay, there you go. Now there's tension. Let's remove this. Right. I'm gonna first put tape. So this is athletic tape on the spool. So there would be grip when I tie the line. Put it. Okay. Now the spool will have grip. So when I tie this line, it wouldn't slip. And when I start reeling. Now so I use a hangman's knot to tie the line on the spool, and then I lock it by one overhand knot. That's how you lock the hangman's knot. So, okay, and just gently pull. Okay. So as you can see, the backing, it was on top of the spool earlier. Now it's on the bottom of the spool. Okay, here comes the uni nut to uni nut connection here. You don't want that knot to get exposed, especially when you're fighting the fish, because that's the point where you can have failure. And because it's now underneath the spool, that's less likely to happen, unless, you know, the fish you caught took a lot of line. Alright guys, we're almost done here. Okay. Alright, so if you can see, that spool now is at full capacity. And alright, so that's how I add the right amount of backing so my spool is at full capacity. Also, you can use this technique to flip your line. Let's say the surface lines are all worn out and you want to put that underneath the spool, so this technique can be useful also. Another thing, if you got snagged, you lost some line, if you lost like a little 30 yards, 50 yards, so you can again add line so your spool would be at full capacity. Okay guys, if you like this video, please feel free to click the like button. Please leave a comment, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Thank you so much, and do watch out for our next fishing adventures, which is blackfish. The season just opened. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go out on the first day because of the weather, but definitely this weekend we're going out and catch some blackfish. Actually, I'm gonna use this reel as my blackfish reel now. Okay guys, till next time, thank you so much.